Okay, so I think um let me see. Mm, I know. Okay, so I met this dude on Grinder. I was on my way to someone else's house, and when the Uber pulled up, he sent me a message and said his boyfriend had got home. So I was like, shit. I got out of the car and I walked up the street because there was a droga sale up the street, which is a drugstore. And I went up there and picked up some Viagra's because I took the last two before I got to his house, and I needed some more. So like clockwork, honey. So, so I opened my grinder back up and somebody else hit me up. I was like, okay, cool. So I went over to the guy's house. I called another Uber over to that guy's house. It was cool, but I think he faked his orgasm. I think he did. And so I went home and we exchanged information or whatever, and we was talking back and forth through WhatsApp and Instagram. So I went over a second time. Now the second time I went over, I was like, let's record it. And he was like, okay. And so we recorded it, and that time I saw him actually bust a nut because it was recorded. So went home. Now yesterday, I sent him a message. I was like, "What are you doing?" I sent him a message, and he was like, "Nothing. Sitting at the house chilling." I was like, "Okay, can I come by?" And he was like, "Okay, cool." So, but he, okay, but in between that, we was trying to hook up again, but he kept telling me bring a bottle of wine with me, and I was like clockwork, baby. And so I was like, I don't have. At the time, I was like, I didn't have the money. I just didn't feel like stopping in no liquor store or, well, we don't really liquor down here is sold in like a grocery store or a convenience store. I just didn't feel like going to a convenience store to get the liquor, the wine. I was just like, oh, I don't know where to get it. La la la. I came up with some excuses. So then eventually he gave me an excuse that he didn't want to hook up. I was like, okay, fine. So then yesterday happened. I was like, he was like, don't forget the wine, don't forget the wine, don't forget the wine. I was like, okay. So I stopped and bought 30 reais. A bottle of wine that was 30 reais. I went over there. We started screwing like regular, just fine. And he quote unquote, came. What he did was he fucked me in my mouth really, really hard to the point where, and he wouldn't let me come up for air. And so whatever was on my stomach, which was nothing but saliva, had came up. And it was giving that he had came. But it didn't taste like it. So it was still hard. So I was like, let's keep going. It'll never be this much traffic till I open the phone. Anyway. So we keep going, and so at this point he's ready to fuck me. I'm bent over the bed, and he's fucking. Then he stops, and then he goes back to fucking again. Then he was like, sujo, which is like dirty. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I looked down at his dick, and there was some it was a mess. And I was like, this is what I'm thinking to myself. I know I cleaned out before I left the house. He was like, toma banho, which means take a shower. So he goes and he washes it off and takes a shower. And then he's like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Can we just try this another day? He kept saying muito cansado. Muito cansado. Outro dia, por favor. Which means I'm really tired another day. I was like, okay. Mind you, the bottle of wine that I had brought over had not been opened. It was on the table in the kitchen. I talked to somebody about what happened, and he was like, oh, he tricked you out of a bottle of wine, which I had already assumed. But he said, no, the shit was not his. It wasn't real. Because when I got back to the house, when we were standing in the bathroom, he went to the shower to take a shower. But then he was like, do you want to take a shower? But then I had and I was completely clean. I didn't smell nothing on me. I was like, this is very strange. So when I got home, I had ran my Hello Dolly past the car wash again, and there was nothing. So he had faked it. And then he put shit on his deck to get me out of the house. But then I was talking to somebody today, and it was like, well, he has 2 dogs, and they said it was probably the dog shit that he put on his deck to get you out of the house. Because it sounds like something that, like, say for instance, he used to turn tricks, and in order for him to be able to turn more than one trick a night, he'd fake an orgasm and then pull that thing with the shit. So needless to say, the night had ended, and I took my ass to the house. And I think I'm finna go block all his shit on my accounts.